Hey, what's up everybody? Bdf 44 coming at you with another video. All right, so it's been what, 3 days since I made a video or something like that? It's been a while. Been staying in the house, doing various different activities, art, playlist work, done a couple playlists since I probably last spoke to you guys, maybe two of them, with art to do. On that, the K-list of 423. Check me out on Bdf 44 at Apple Music, and I get the handle correct this time. It's Bdf spelled out 44, one word, at Apple Music. So that's where you're gonna find me. I could never seem to get the handle right, but I did switch it to the same handle that you'll find here on YouTube. So if you have an Apple Music account, you should be able to find me with that same handle that you find right here. What's been going on, man? Honestly, just been dodging the heat. We had a little bit of a second heat wave after the initial heat wave 2 weeks ago. We had another one yesterday. Got up to about 96. I think it's probably about 92 right now. And it's supposed to drop to 80 and rain tomorrow. So that's going to be a little interesting, given that I'm going to be doing a lot of grocery shopping tomorrow. Do my big grocery shopping after checking into the room tomorrow, assuming everything goes smoothly. Everything went very smoothly to get into this room. Got everything I needed. Very thankful to my uncle and to just God for making sure that each and every one of these times I've been able to get what I need. So I have no complaints. 3 days straight of 100s blue workout after after the last couple of weeks having some real inconsistent workouts in that regard. I did it this morning, yesterday, and the day before. So feel great about that. I feel like I gained some weight. And I think it's probably because I've been eating out a little more. I've been eating my burrito, nothing else. The salmon burrito that I often get, which I will be eating today as well. Bought it like 3 times since the last time I was here, which is something I never do. But yeah, that's going to be cut out after this week. I will make sure not to do that probably for at least another 3 weeks. But I just wanted a variety of meals, and I think it laid on my stomach a little bit, coupled with the lack of walking that I've been doing this week. So, you know, but at the same time, I've been keeping up with my exercise, doing all my normal stuff. So I feel better, feel stronger than I had maybe the last time I was in this room. So, you know, just continuing the process. It's a lot of stuff going on in the world. Happy birthday to my little brother Vernon, by the way. Vernon is in his mid-30s, somewhere in there. He's 4 years younger than me, so he's what, 37 today. So yeah, happy birthday to my little bro. I've been fortunate to speak with our sister Sonia regularly lately, and we got some big things coming up in her life, so we definitely sending good energy toward her with everything that's going on there. And yeah, man, just stuff in life, you know. Condolences to my friend B, who lost her aunt. Her cousin Piccola's mother passed away this week. We have been praying for her and hoping that everything would improve, and the Lord took her home. So just wanted to send some prayers their way for their bereavement. And you know, as far as myself, man, I've been in good spirits. I mean, despite not being out as much this week, I don't plan on that continuing. There's been legitimate reasons why I've been in the house. I actually haven't been feeling bad or depressed or anything like that. It's just been a lot of creative stuff, a lot of playlist work, drafting teams, dodging heat. And that's been a real thing for me this week. But you know, I think the heat wave is pretty much behind us, and I'm finally gonna have an AC in my room. Hopefully, fingers crossed, things go well tomorrow. For the first time in 3 weeks, we'll have AC. So I'll be happy with that. Plus, there's AC in this room right now, so I'm definitely enjoying that. But you know, it's a lot of stuff I wanted to talk about, and what I've been praying the Lord would do is just give me good things to tell you guys upon speaking to you again. Because, like I said, I hadn't been making any type of video, sports or otherwise, in at least 3 days. And I've been just enjoying my life away from the grind. I know when the Lakers season comes back, I'm gonna be making videos 4 and 5 times a day like I always do. So this was a time for me to kind of cleanse my mind and focus on myself, focus on my just, you know, living, well-being, so to speak. I thought I made some really good art over the last 3 weeks in that particular room, man. Good playlists, made at least 5 playlists in that room. So I've just been kind of doing my own thing and really just carrying myself forward with the same habits that I've ultimately been trying to keep for the past couple of years since being in this situation. of course, as you know, I'm sure since the last time we spoke, I had the 2-year anniversary of being in this situation. I passed on my mother's birthday, actually, or August 30th, 31st, somewhere in there. Whatever the last day of August is, that was the day I came into this situation 2 years ago. And it's time to get out of it, to be honest with you. I'm not unhappy or anything. It's just, it just feels like it's time. And circumstances are happening. It just feels like, with everybody leaving from that building, all the workers that I appreciate, my uncle's telling me, hey, it's time to make a move. I just feel like the energy has shifted, and now it's time for me to start looking for apartments of my own. And, looking forward to the Lord kind of organically leading me toward the right spot, just like he has been doing with all of my living situations. I usually feel home when I get there. If it's meant for me to be there for any length of time, I'm likely going to feel it when I arrive, if history tells a story. So that's what it is, man. Just kind of wondering what the next phase will be. Mental note to remind myself throughout the course of the next, I think the flyer said 30 days, they're going to have random blackouts between like 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. In certain rooms, because I guess they're redoing the wiring in this building. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to forget that if not for putting it in this video. So yeah, we need to be ready for days where I may want to stay home and may not have any power to charge my phone or do anything. So it'd probably be best for me to make sure I'm out of the house when the power goes out. Ain't gonna be able to boil any water. Stuff like that is real. Who knows and when those blackouts will be hitting my room, whatever room they give me. So yeah, no power, no Wi-Fi. So that's gonna be a thing at random. That's what the flyer essentially said. They're not any schedule for that. They're just trying to redo the wiring in the building. So what else, man? This has been very quiet. It's been very quiet as it pertains to like just the light of that place has just been snatched out of it. And that's a real adjustment for someone like myself who doesn't deal with a lot of people. But the people that I did kind of interact with were there, and so now I'm walking past that front desk and there's no one there that I know, and it's made my life significantly more quiet, significantly less interaction, which is not really good for my personality given the fact that I isolate naturally. So I just been feeling like the absence of those people it's not been great for me. That's what I think it is, just the adjustment. But luckily enough, I've been interacting a lot with my sister, communicating with her, and that's kind of supplemented that in a way as it pertains to my own mental health and just having some interaction with the outside world. So yeah, man, that's really what's been going on. It's just a lot of adjustment to that, dealing with the heat. It's been a real thing without an AC, but I managed to enjoy myself in that room. It was a good room, good shower for a change, since I had some bad rooms in a row with bad showers. That one wasn't one of them, and now I'm in the motel. I'm feeling pretty good for the night. Tomorrow, I suspect it shouldn't be a problem for me to get an AC room or any type of room. Hopefully, everything goes well. And that's really it. I've been paying a lot of attention to stuff as it pertains to Charlie Kirk and the assassination and different commentary going on around him. Stuff going on in Gaza. Of course, I've been seeing so much ridiculousness from Gaza. The images coming out of there are as horrific as ever as they're taking over the northern side of Gaza. The images that were coming out just last night were like incredibly horrifying. And children, more kids, man. It's important that I say, and I'm pretty sure I've probably said this at some point, but nearly half of Palestine is children. Like, they have a heavy population of kids there. So most of the people who are losing their lives, of course, people who are being slaughtered are kids. And that's what you're seeing, images of children, man. It's just, I can't even explain to you some of the stuff I saw over the last couple of days, and wouldn't try to right now. But just trust and believe it's just as bad as it's been, and they're not slowing down. Of course, our entire Congress was in Israel, pledging their allegiance to Israel a few days ago. I said a prayer about that, man. I really did, because to me, and this is just my this is how I take it. This is how I receive that. It's highly offensive to see my entire government, my entire Congress as an American citizen in Israel at once, when we know damn well that the optics alone, if this was any other country or any other situation, they would be nowhere near Israel, based on being accused of war crimes. Never mind what we believe to be true, never mind what we've seen, just the optics alone, being accused of such things will make it so that people stay away from you. You know, you think about the entertainment industry. If a guy has certain accusations, suddenly all his friends back away, suddenly all his industry business things, endorsements get snatched away just from having accusations. You don't even have to do anything necessarily, but the accusations alone make you a bad PR foe to someone's success. So they back away from you. And you got our entire government, entire Congress, over 200 people in Israel at once, when all of these accusations are being applied to Israel. It's just, you can clearly see how compromised our government is. And they just act like they're just dystopian about it, man. It's just the presence of real corruption and blackmail and just cowardice is what I see, absolute cowardice. And then furthermore, a bunch of people who are likely pledged, ex-IDF people themselves, representing our Congress and representing the people behind our Congress people. I feel like this country has been conquered, if I'm being honest with you. I feel like America has been conquered. And I would not be surprised to see us change the name of this country to United States of Israel very soon. I would not be surprised at all with how this is going. I kind of expect that, and I think all of us should expect it too. If they make a name change, or if they change just the Constitution all the way around, like they just start taking people's rights completely away, rip up that Constitution, nothing would surprise me with the way that this is going. They are completely pledged to a genocidal entity looking to enforce ethnic cleansing and racist ideologies, and it's disgusting. It's insulting. It's the best way I know how to describe it. My sensibilities are insulted by what's going on with our government right now. It is ridiculous. I've been paying attention to a lot of different people communicating on this. I tried watching Tucker Carlson yesterday. I can only get through about 45 minutes of it. As a black person, and I say this from a perspective to understand that a lot of black people do not agree with me or feel this way, but many do. It's kind of hard to hear people romanticize someone who spoke so poorly of your people. Charlie Kirk, I understand, was not a horrible person, but he had some horrible ideologies as it pertains to African Americans, pertains to a lot of different marginalized groups. I saw his energy toward an individual who was trying to stand for the rights of illegal immigrants. He did not have positive vibes toward us. And to see people romanticize over him as if we're not in place, saying, hey, this person disrespected us, this person made us feel uncomfortable, this person may have hurt our feelings with his rhetoric. To hear people prop him up as a saint, as if it's understood by all that he's a saint, is insulting. Once again, insulting to my spirit as an ancestor, a descendant rather, of indigenous people and African people and African American slaves. It's insulting to see somebody be able to discard of us with his intentions and words and still get propped up as if he's just the most amazing Christian saint to ever live. But that speaks to the perversion of religious backing colonial ideologies and white supremacy. And that's really what it is. His version of Christianity, which was presented to him as Christianity, discarded of people of color and anyone that didn't associate with his line of thinking. And what I've come to understand about a lot of conservative individuals is anything that they deem to be scary, anything that they fear is deemed evil. Anything that they feel is evil, they write off as not important, or opposition, or should otherwise be considered outside of what is good. And so if you disrespect black people as a whole, you're disrespecting an evil entity that ultimately means to do crime. If you disrespect Spanish-speaking individuals, you're disrespecting people who intend to do harm to our country and ultimately take from us what ultimately keeps us sovereign. It's a white supremacy, paranoid, arrogant ideology that's enriched in the Christian religion, and he was a mouthpiece for its intentions. And because so many people just discard of what they don't understand, what they fear, and what they've been told is bad, good people get disrespected by that discarding and by that otherism, I guess is the word I'll use. And I happen to be one of those people. So when I see a Tucker Carlson and his panel get on there and call him the greatest Christian in the world, well, I guess I'm chopped liver. You know what I'm saying? As a Christian black person, I guess I'm chopped liver. And that's exactly how I take it. And I think I should take it that way, because it's racism. That's all it is. But it's not racism as simple as they hate all black people, because they don't mind black people that agree with them. But people who are on the other side of them, as it pertains to their ideologies, or people who are close to those out here in these streets, there's no good to be found in their eyes in regards to us. Thus making it so that people like myself essentially do not exist in their world. And if you offend my people, and if it happens to land on me, apparently according to them, who gives a damn? Unless I pledge allegiance to their point of view, which also discards of my people. Someone like Candace Owens, for example, is going to be accepted. She's a black person just like me, but she aligns with their ideology, and she accepts them for the disregarding of her own people, and as a result, she is safe to them, so therefore, she's somebody they trust. Why? Because she discards of all of us. As soon as she starts trying to huddle up with her own people, not the safe ones who are conservative like her, but people out here in these streets like myself, people, I'm not in the streets, but you know what I'm saying, people out here in these rural areas that they consider to be darkness and crime riddled, where only people that are able to be found are awful human beings, or people that ultimately hate white people or hate Jews or whatever the heck they think of us. Suddenly it's okay to disrespect us, so long as you do so, you're considered a safe black person and even an ally to them. And that, my friends, is disrespectful to people like myself who are not looking to do any crime, who've never stolen anything from anybody, who is not looking to harm anybody, is not a threat to anybody, but happen to be in these situations, not riddled with a siding of my own people, not riddled with a jaded point of view of my own people, not othering people who may be adjacent to me in color. No, not someone who's comfortable with those who are white who do that on the conservative side of things. And if I happen to not be comfortable with them discarding of me and applying ignorance to my people, suddenly I'm aligned with some grandiose idea of just danger, basically. I'm dangerous to them. When all I really am is just a human being that they've never met, surrounded by people they've never met, but believe everything they've been told about. And so when I get disrespected by one of their talking heads, and I say, yo, I don't appreciate that, suddenly I'm a bad guy. You know, it's funny to me how so many, and I say this from my perspective, as I just described myself, somebody who's not over there with y'all, but somebody who's in a space surrounded by people of different races, many different races. I'm not in conservative spaces where the majority of the people I'm around are agreeable white people with one another, mind you. I look into those spaces and I say to you guys, Charlie Kirk may have been agreeable with you, but he says some things that discarded of some good people. He othered some very good people and discarded of what's best for them for the sake of what makes you comfortable. And for that, I reserve the right to not have the greatest opinion about him. Now, doesn't mean I celebrate his death, but don't expect me, as somebody he offended, to condemn those who may not be as good of heart, who may. Don't expect me to do that. Don't expect for me to kick them aside, because I feel what they feel. Just don't react to it the way they do. Does that make me better than them? I don't think so. Maybe in your world I am. Maybe in your world you're better than me, even though I feel this way. But whatever the case may be, don't sit here and othering my race, othering my people, because I'm reactionary to disrespect being pointed at me. And maybe don't have the greatest thought about the person that you're celebrating because you have no concern for my offense, so to speak. And so that's what I say to all of y'all who are just, propping Charlie Kirk up there with people like John F. Kennedy and Martin Luther King. I've seen them put him side to side with people like Fred Hampton. I'm like, how in the hell are you propping somebody up who had racist ideologies, if not for the bankruptcy of your understanding as to how harmful and dangerous that is? It's a evil that is masked as Christianity, and it needs to be pointed out as such. Just like there's an evil masquerading around as Judaism, it needs to be pointed out as such. We need not pretend like white supremacy hasn't proven itself to stand behind religion and then proceed to be selective in its intentions to be decent toward whomever. We like you, we don't like you. We like you, we fear you. We fear you, we hate you, we move you on the other way. And anybody disrespects you, we champion, and we think of them as the greatest human beings in the world. Charlie stood for all the greatest stuff, except for as it pertains to people like myself, of whom he was very disrespectful toward. Very disrespectful. And I believe that a lot of what that disrespect was pointed at was based on his version of Christianity that he stood by, for better or for worse. A Christianity that doesn't accept everybody, that doesn't walk in the light of Jesus Christ, accepting everybody for themselves, but looks to other some and bring forth appropriate energy toward others. And that, my friends, is not Christianity at all. It's white supremacy masquerading as Christianity. And somebody who knows Christ, I know he's not with that. He doesn't like that at all. And when I listen to people use the term Judeo-Christian ideals, or Judeo-Christian, I guess is the word they're using, that form of Christianity is very much like this form of Judaism that's over there killing and slaughtering innocent children. Yeah. Now, original Judaism and original Christianity, actual Christianity, they don't have as much alike with one another. But this white supremacy watered down version that allows for the colonial practices and the slaughtering of indigenous people, yeah, them two energies are just alike. They're just alike. I do not subscribe to either, nor do I think God is involved in either. And I think they're just alike. And so when I say to you guys that I think that white supremacy in America and Zionist supremacy that we're seeing all over the world, but particularly in the Middle East with Israel or whatever occupied Palestine, they are just alike. And as I told you guys maybe a year ago, I thought they were going to end up fighting, and that fight has started with the killing of Charlie Kirk. I predicted that white supremacy and Zionist Israeli supremacy were going to end up battling because they're both arrogant as hell. Both think that each other is right, but will not yield to neither one of one another. They're just alike. And neither of them know it, really. Zionist supremacy is trying to control American white supremacy. American white supremacy is just waking up to the understanding that has been occupied by this lying entity known as Israel. But they seem to think that they're very different, particularly white supremacy in America toward Israel. But you're just alike. Trust me, as a black person, as someone who has indigenous blood, Native American blood, there ain't no difference between y'all at all. You're just alike. and none the wiser. I listen to a lot of Candace Owens. Candace Owens seems to be waking up. Candace Owens ain't singing the same tune she was back in the day when she offended and pushed away so many of her liberal black brothers and sisters. She's not the same person. She's growing up. She is growing up, and I'm seeing it. She ain't singing the same tune. She's not riding with partisan this, partisan that. She's starting to look for truth as it pertains to what may not be comfortable to her. Unfortunately enough, though, a good portion of the people who need to be paying attention to her are not, because she pushed them aside back when she didn't know any better. She othered her own people and aligned with people who did not accept her people unless they were willing to do what she did, which is discard of her own people. Now it's time for her people to not only learn what she is teaching, but to also protect her from ultimately what could be coming. And they ain't nowhere to be found because they still look at her as an op. That's the curse of othering your own people. When you come around to realize that you've done so, you would have already isolated yourself away from the people that you could actually trust. People that would go through a wall for you were the same people that she didn't give a damn about when she didn't know any better. She knows better now, and it may be too late. That's the reality of it. You done offended and hurt too many people with your words, just like your brother Charlie. And a lot of black people look at you as the number one COO out there. I'll tell you right now, I don't know what's ahead for her, but I'm paying very close attention to her because she's talking something that's true. She's one of the only people I trust right now as it pertains to giving us information. Only people I trust. But just like many people on her side of the fence, she has said some extremely hurtful things toward our people. And if not for her skin color, it would just be another supremacist on the white side of things, who we likely wouldn't listen to even if they were telling the truth. That's what I gotta say about Candace Owens. She pushed away too many people. Too many people. And if she knew what was ahead, if she knew the truth, she would have never taken the position she took against her own people. And lining up with people that only appreciate her so long as she hates her own people. So long as she's agreeing with them that her own people are dangerous if she doesn't represent them herself as she walks around the skin. I tell you right now, man, I grew up around all kinds of people. Least of all Caucasian, if I'm being honest. They were the least majority of people I was around. I grew up around Hispanic people, black people, Armenian people, Indian people. It was Jewish people and white people were the least amount I was around. And Persians, I didn't know a lot of Persian people until I got older. But everybody else, Asian people of many different countries, Filipino, many different types of people I grew up around. And what I can legitimately tell you is we all function together just fine without the presence of white supremacy leaning in on us, reminding all of us that we are other. The least comfort we find is around people who are not comfortable with us. If we're comfortable around one another, we don't have these problems. I can legitimately tell you that half of these people that they trying to hurry up and deport are good people. Good, genuine, helpful, supportive individuals who will work for theirs. And if you're jumbled up in a space where everybody agrees to be white and be right because of it, you're not going to know this. And you're going to listen to a bunch of people tell you that all these people are horrible, MS-13, this and that and the third. I'll tell you, I've known some gang members from various different communities. They were helpful people too. I know that y'all see gang members as just the evil, it's all the crime, this, crime, that. Yes, it's a real thing we have to worry about. But you know what else we have to worry about? Your cops. We got to worry about white people wanting to string us up. Do you think we run around as fearful of one another as we are fearful of essentially white supremacy coming down on us? As an indigenous person, I can tell you I feel much more comfortable around the MS-13s and the 18th Streets and and the Crips and the Bloods than I do around a bunch of white police officers. I think I have a better chance of surviving around those people than I do a bunch of skinheads and Proud Boys and Groypers or whatever the hell you call yourselves, man. I'm safer in the spaces around people you don't trust, that you think are the worst people in the world. I know I'm safer around them than I am around you, because I've been around them and I've survived this long. And they ain't never othered me. They ain't never made me feel like I'm a bad guy because I walk around in my own skin. It never made me feel like I'm about to do something to them, if not for the presence of someone standing up and finding out, rather than talking behind your back and using their platforms to smear you and then believing the lies that they tell about you as if they're Bible scripture. Using their religion as a means of othering you and placing you aside as if your offense is not valid when you express that you're offended. White supremacy does that. Stands on its high horse, and when you're in pain, sits back and just laughs or just is indifferent or whatever. But then when you show that same energy, suddenly wants to point it out as if it's the first time it's ever seen it before. It's because it doesn't care to look at itself when it's describing energy it's offended by, as if it hasn't put out that energy. You want to know why black people didn't care that Charlie Kirk died? Because Charlie Kirk said a lot of evil stuff about black people. You know why Hispanic people ain't really care too much when Charlie Kirk died? Because Charlie Kirk said a lot of evil stuff about Spanish people. You know why gay people didn't care too much when Charlie Kirk died? Because Charlie Kirk said a lot of horrible stuff about gay people, all in the name of his religion. A religion that, if you study it on its surface, is supposed to welcome all of these people, instead of pushing them all away like y'all have perverted the religion to be. Are we not going to acknowledge that people were offended by this man? You know, I'm listening to these conversations, people saying, oh, hate speech is just speech you hate. And sometimes, other times, it's harmful and hurtful. You don't get to just write off hate speech as if there's no one out here saying things they have no business saying about good people. Good people. Though they are not aware of it, these are good people you're talking about. Some of these people that you other, as I like to use, they're good people. They're decent human beings. God-fearing people, hard-working people, people who take the shirt off their back and give it to you type of people. These are the people that you're disrespecting with these words. Standing in your high horse far away from us to ever even know that you're talking bad about good people. And guess who the good people are? People who, if you just communicate with them, will then show you they're good people. But you just want to stand over there away from us, push us all away, send us into different places, tell us we're bad for existing, and all these different things. And it's like all you're showing us is that you're the bad people we need to stay away from. You are the bad people, white supremacy. You're just not aware of it. Just like many forms of evil, it doesn't have any self-awareness. That's the curse of being evil, that you're the last one to find out. A lot of y'all think y'all saints, y'all think y'all gonna line up with Christ, and the first thing he's gonna say to you when he meets you is, why were you so mean to my people? Why were you so cruel to my people? Why were you only able to reason with your own empathy as it pertains to certain types of individuals? I didn't put you down here to love only people that look like you. I didn't put you down here to push aside people who had melanin in their skin. I didn't put you on this earth to leave behind more of the same racist rhetoric that ultimately preceded you. I wanted you to be different. That's exactly what he's telling somebody like Charlie Kirk. I wanted you and all of your gifts to think your way through all of that, not line up with it, only to find yourself being slaughtered by it, because that's exactly what happened to me. Now he has to face the music with the Holy Spirit that y'all seem to think he was in such great graces with. I'm here to tell you he wasn't. As a person who knows the Holy Spirit very well, he wasn't in great graces with the Holy Spirit. I'm not saying the man's burned in hell. I don't know that. I think he thought he was lining up with Christianity. I just think the Christianity he was given to him was riddled in white supremacy and racism and devilishness. It's like a lot of religion that's being pressed upon a lot of white people. Just like a lot of religion that's being pressed upon the rest of us too, in our various different spaces of worship. If the energy doesn't read right, then it doesn't matter what book they're reading from. The devil knows the Bible and the Quran better than any priest or clergyman ever would. And so I try to tell y'all, man, y'all need to be very careful not to have your religions backing you into being a horrible person, because there are a lot of religions out there that will teach you how to be awful toward everyone, thus being awful towards yourself and your own reputation without you actually being aware of it. This is what Charlie Kirk was dealing with. The selective empathy that it applied to certain things and not other things. It's not of Christ. Christ is not like that. It's not how he wanted us to be. That's not what his teaching says. It's what human beings have perverted his word to be. That ain't never what Christ was about. And they live in that space in agreement with one another, so they're not able to think their way out of that. They're not able to evolve out of it. And we're seeing that energy surrounding Charlie Kirk's mourning. It's a bunch of individuals who have poisonous Christianity. Poisonous. Where they can live in a space where things are and aren't at the same time, which is in and of itself devilish confusion. We are great people who love everybody except for those people. Except for those people and those people, because we fear them. Because we've been told horrible things about these people. But we're patron saints. And we love everybody. We love Christ. We love everybody. But we don't love them. They're evil. Not by their merits, but by our agreements are we solidified in our belief that these people are evil. Not by what it is that they've shown us, but what it is that we've told one another that they've shown us. Statistics and crime rate. You're safer around everybody but them because them. Oh, you're wrong. You're wrong. And most importantly, what does the statistics tell you about your people? How safe are you around your own people? This is why I couldn't finish watching Tucker Carlson's episode last night that everybody was heralding as such a special thing, because he, just like many on his side, are selective in their intentions as it pertains to what they're willing to support. Not based on merit, but based on agreement. We will support all of us. We will get away with from all of them. What did they show us? It doesn't matter. We're not even looking. They are what we say they are. Stay over there or suffer. And what it really comes down to is they just want a pass for the evil that they've done to all of us. They don't want us to react to it. They don't think we have any right to react to it. We're supposed to have healed from all the evil that they've done, and they don't care to empathize with the long-term trauma of being the big bad wolf for so long. And the essence of them ever becoming the big bad wolf is just riddled in this choice to be this way. It's the same evil that enslaved us. It's the same evil that betrayed the Indians, the Native Americans rather. It's the same evil that is taking over Israel/Palestine right now and discarding of a country with half of its population being children. It's the same old devilish white supremacy, still lacking self-awareness and accountability for how it causes so many problems for so many people all over the world. And so that's my point of view, man. I can't sit there and listen to that crap. Even if if the enemy of my enemy is supposed to be my friend, then we're kind of dealing with a type of situation like that, because white supremacy is pointed at Israel right now. And me personally, who's been paying attention to all of this, definitely knows that Israel's who needs to be stopped right now. But in huddling up trying to listen to people who agree that Israel needs to go down, I start being reminded that the world that they're hoping they can rescue themselves from have nothing to do with me and mine. They want me in the same hole they want Israelis in. They want me in the same hole. They liken my essence to the same devilishness that's being pointed at taking over their country. They only want to get rid of Israelis because it's taken over their colonial project that they stole from Native Americans. They could give a damn about the indigenous people who are having their land stolen from them now. They are not willing to fight to save the Palestinian people. They're willing to fight to save their own colonial project called America. They still believe this thing is worthy of being saved and upheld as the greatest country in the world when it committed the same terroristic genocidal practices that are ultimately taking place in the Middle East. If anything, y'all should be like the rest of your government, supporting that colonial project, because it's the same devilish evil that ultimately you herald as the greatest thing in the world today. And you do. You just don't like it when somebody tries to tell you they're going to take away your colonial project that you conquered, that you stuck your flag on after killing millions of people who didn't deserve it. You conquered this land. You don't want them conquering your land. You want to keep your land as your own. But just like the essence of white supremacy, it's definitely looking to take from you what it is that you've conquered for yourself. It's greedy. And that's exactly what's happening to you, America. You are being conquered by your own essence. Just wearing a different religious hat. That's all it is. And so I'm going to sit back, eat my popcorn, and watch these two white supremacist factions go back and forth, lying to itself about whatever, and lying to everybody else, just like it always does. Fighting over what land they've stolen from the indigenous people that gets to stay under whose reign. I'm gonna watch them fight, because that's exactly what it's about to be. And I tell you this, indigenous people of the world, you need to hear me clearly. These two assholes will blow up the world for the sake of their own shit. Do you understand me? Let me be very clear about this. White supremacy and Zionist supremacy, in their fight, they have every intention of destroying the entire world. They will, with their bombs and their tactics and their armies. They will destroy everything to uphold their side of the fence. This is what I know. Bdf 44. I thank you all for watching.